I was just ready to double the points. Let's try e4. Best by test? Ah, okay. Lopez land? Why not? Let's go for it. I'm very tempted to just take that knight. Now, let's go with this. Quiet. Nice and quiet here. Bishop here? Just castle? Let's just castle. Can I take this pawn and get away with it? Or do I come under some heavy fire? Not going to do it just yet. I want to see how... I want to neutralize this bishop. He's very aggressively placed, and I'm, of course, now looking to play on this side of the board. On the f-file, where do I want my knight? On c3 or d2? Probably right here. Yep, towards the center. Jumping point there. And for some reason, I'm thinking the knight's going to reroute like that. Is if I go queen e1 to try and get on this diagonal, is knight here going to be annoying? It might. It might be annoying. Should I just take this knight? How good is my bishop even going to be? Let me see. Actually, I'm going to do this. If knight b4, I think I'll just play like queen to d2. Okay, now I'm very tempted to just take this knight. Very, very tempted. Should I just back up? Bishop a4, b5. I mean, my opponent could pick up that if he really wants to. Oh, man. Let me see. I just don't know. Take the knight or not take the knight? What do you do? I'm getting angry with myself now. What do you do? Okay, let's see if they can put that bishop to work. My knight is going to... I think this bishop just has to come back anyhow to give itself up. Because my knight has to be a pest on f5. There's no way you could deal with the knight on f5 and a queen on g3, can you? Ah! Just like I suspected. Okay. Queen here, knight here, and I have some issues. Let's just throw them in there. I can still play here. I have doubled pawns, but they're proving useful because of the play I now have for my rooks, and additionally they, well, he controls this d4 square. The knight isn't around to jump in there, but alright. Alright, let's just drop not all the way back. Right here is just enough. I still want to be able to maybe triple up. What about this? g4. g4, queen g5 is a pain. Let's go here. That's preventing f5. Can't do f5 yet. I have too much control over it. So there was no rush, in other words, with g4. Now there might be. Hang on. This knight is boxed out. I'm having a flashback of a Kramnik Vishy Anand game. Kramnik Vishy Anand. Where the knight is boxed out. And now, jumping into this f6 square, is that going to be annoying? What about this first? Is there a rush? Knight d5 and h4 my candidate moves. I don't want this knight to get here. My queen is supporting h4. Let me go at h4. I want to control this square. Maybe I could get this in. I'm assuming c6 is needed, otherwise you have to contend with my knight. And my knight can't be allowed to get to f6. I think as a follow-up, I triple up on f, and then the last piece I need to get working, of course, would then be my knight. I also have a timed disadvantage. Big surprise. c6, I'm pretty sure you have to play c6, unless f6 is being thought about. f6 or c6? f6 with king here as an idea? Okay. Pile up. This pawn's hit a third time. Could I kick this knight away somehow? Pawn push, pawn push. I think I'm just allowing knight here. I don't know. I want to improve my king position somehow. Could play rook here, but then there's this knight move that's interfering. What about first this move? Actually, queen here. Queen g3. There still is no advance here. That's going to still take some more work. I'm doing this so I could play g5 and then rook here. If I did this move too soon, I think h6 could have been played. How can I get my knight working? I don't have a good place for my knight now. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't... I need a plan, and I'm not able to come up with one so quick now. Knight d1... I just don't know. I just don't know what I want to do. I should have played g5. Why didn't I play g5 there? Let's see. I just don't know what I want to do. Can it be that I just don't know what I want to do? This knight has to get working. I don't even know what he's going to do, though. There's no... I don't have a clear plan. That's my problem. That's my big problem right here. At least one of them. That's one of my problems. Don't just limit yourself to that knight there. Okay. King g2. Maybe knight g1 to h3. I don't know. I'm just going to move, even if it's wrong. That's the... Oh, actually, no. I'm starting to see stuff. See what just happens? As soon as you bring your knight home, things start to... I don't know what I want to say here. Okay. Okay, this knight's going to be pinned, though. You still can't do this advance. The king has to get off of that file. I should probably get off of the file. Having the queen and the king on the same file there, not a good idea. Let's get out of that. Let's just make a move, because I'm down on time. I don't see any good progress here. Yeah. Ooh. Hang on. Hang on. I want to get to this square now. Hang on. This is a juicy square. Oh, the tables are turning now. Incoming. Knight f5. Knight f5. Get out of the way, queen. My knight wants to be there. Promise you. King up here. There's knight takes pawn. If the queen puts pressure here. I have to defend it like this and then jump in here. So, is there going to be break in the center? There's going to be a pawn dropping. Whoo! Dodged a bullet. I was exaggerating with that one. So let's take here. Maybe I go somewhere else. I'm going to go to this square instead. This one was appealing, but I think this one might be good too. Pressure on this pawn as well. Knight here. Tricky knights. Pressure on f6 directly. If I just played here, the knight would take him out, but my knight is much more aggressive now that there's been this capturing away from the center. Uh-oh. 46 to 126. Knight d5. I'm being chased away to a square I was already going to go to. No, I gotta move quicker. The knight's gonna play here. I gotta take that out. That's gonna be a problem, isn't it? I'm hitting that pawn 3 times. I'm in trouble. Can I get my queen active? She's active. She's hitting a pawn now. Queen a4. I have to babysit this pawn. Is the queen gonna go here? That's a mistake. Now my king is freed up. Maybe my king could run over here? Okay. Transition. Time to transition. King is sneaking over. I don't want to allow... Well, I'm going to have to allow that. Oh, that wasn't a good idea, I don't think. Okay, I'm going to end up netting this pawn. I don't know why I did that move exactly. Oh, rook up here. Oh, that's the correct way to defend. The rook has to go back. I can chase the rook off, but now it's going to get... Oh, my king could sneak in? Oh, I could have taken that. I could have taken that pawn. That's what I thought I was able to do a bit earlier, but... Hitting the rook? Is the rook chased away now? It might be. What am I missing? Oh, I got the rook. I got a rook here. Oh, this is working out now. Let me chase the king back first and then take this pawn. How's the clock? I only have 10 seconds. Ugh. I only have 10 seconds. 8 seconds. I gotta pre-move stuff. Get the rooks off? Okay, I got the rooks off. Finally. This game transitioned. Big time, didn't it? I don't have to grab those pawns. One of these two is going to promote. Now the king is at least cut off. 5 seconds. 5.7. Watch out for stalemate. I didn't watch out for stalemate with that move. Oh, man. Oh, man. Good game. Right down to the wire. Let's back up here. Reverse. Flip the board. Oh, I don't know what to say about this. Let me see. My first thought is what? Okay, so Ruy Lopez. Okay, so I just wanted to get their aggressive bishop off there. I don't know if even taking is best. Maybe just dropping back. I don't know. Bishop to b6 take, and if I do take, then you have play. That's certainly an alternative. Bishop to b6. One thing to know. And if you are capturing, don't view this as a liability. I have play on the f-file. So I gave up my bishop knowing that the bishop was probably going to still have to give itself back up, because a knight on f5 and f4 with kingside castled positions, very difficult. You're asking for a beating if those knights stick around on those squares. A black knight getting to f4, a white knight getting to f5. It's usually number one priority to get rid of them. So I had some pressure here, but right here I throw away any advantage. I think my opponent is wise to play c6. You have to keep my knight out of f6. Maybe there were some cases where I could have played my rook, but what again turned me off to that was some knight move to f4, interfering, and then there would be maybe a fork on h3. Let's see if we could quickly get to that position. After queen e7, queen g, f6, I believe I have nothing here. I think just keeping these pawns sitting, my knight is still without a home. And this is a pretty strong placement for your knight. So if there's maybe one critical position towards this endgame stage, it's right here. And if I am to play g5, why was I so afraid of h6 to undermine my structure? I could just take it. Yeah, that was my concern. g5, I thought h6, and I couldn't maintain my pawn on g5 as far as I could tell. I don't think I can maintain it, so I believe I'd have to give it up. Pawn takes, king here. Actually, I wouldn't be able to play king here. Or my opponent wouldn't be able to play here because of the pressure I still have on f. So I think this would have been an improvement. Playing g5 and clamping down on f6 and then dropping that rook into f6 would have been much different. But because of because I was inaccurate with queen g3, f6 was a good move. And I think just keeping these pawns sitting, I don't have anything. Where I did have something was only after a pawn advance. As soon as I saw h6, I thought I had something, because I knew then I could always play h5 to make this pawn flinch, and then this would become a weak square. But just keeping this as is, I don't know that I could really do much. I think it would be a drawn position. In fact, at this point right here, I was close to just offering a draw, seeing how I was the side who was down on time, and I didn't see a clear plan. I don't know how to pursue this position further. Any pawn, if I do a pawn advance, we're just going to have a bunch of rook exchanges. Your knight, again, is very, very well placed. And the current state of the knight positions right here are that they're really just canceling one another out. Two knights on the same diagonal with exactly two squares are often just fighting for those same squares. In this case, g5, f4. So if you just sit right here, I really don't have anything. There's no weaknesses in the black position, so this is really just a draw, but I started to have some hope. And, well, there was an opportunity to grab this pawn, but we were pretty much blitz mode at that point. When it comes to the rook and pawn endgame, I don't really know who's better. I know that there was a missed opportunity for me right here. As soon as rook played back, I should be taking this pawn. But I missed that. My opponent was wisely on top of it one move later. I have a little bit better of a king position. And, well, I guess I am able to net this pawn at the end of it all. A rook ended up dropping, but we were blitzing stuff very quickly at that point. All right. Very, very good game. Down to the wire again.